Hello and welcome to The Peaceful Home. I'm Teresa Elling. This is Vlogtober day 23 and I've decided to do a part 2 on yesterday's video, clearing paper clutter from your kitchen counters and dining room table. And the reason I decided to do a little bit more is because there's so much more than just mail and paperwork clutter. So I am going to go through the mess you see behind me. This is because I just redid my pantry. I have things that need to go elsewhere, that need to be donated, things that need to be put away, and I'm going to clear that all out really quick, and then I'm going to show you the systems I have in place that make it really easy to clean up a mess like this. These are actually my personal cookbooks and the cookbooks I use the most often, and they didn't get put back in my pantry, so I need to find a spot for those. I also have books I'm getting rid of, jars, some extra plasticware, towels, utensils, silverware, organizing trays, just a lot of stuff that was cluttering my pantry that when I reorganized that, and I will put that video below in the description box in case you want to see it. This is all stuff that needs to be donated or go somewhere else. Actually, I think it's almost all donations. These are just extra grocery bags, which our church is doing a yard sale, so I'm gonna take those, as well as the donation things. I have this pedestal that came apart, and I'm also out of glue. So, you know, this is just a procrastination thing. Or in some cases, the reality of you don't have the supplies to finish a project. I've got to go buy glue before I can put that together, before I can put it away. This is my ground flaxseed, which I need to grind more. So the empty canister has just been sitting here for a couple of days. And then Band-Aids and ointment that need to get returned to the bathroom. To go take the donate things directly to my car and put everything else away. Someone once said that clutter is simply postponed decisions. Now, I would agree with that to a certain extent, but that does not cover all of the possibilities of clutter. Sometimes we know what we need to do with something, but there's nowhere to put it in the meantime. Or what is most common is that we put things out to remind us to do different things. And the problem with that is the pile builds, things get buried, and it's no reminder at all. I've talked to people about using systems and writing down a list, and then they say, well, I'll just forget to use the list. So I would say, would you rather forget something on a list or forget something in a huge pile on your dining room table? Let's get rid of the clutter and do our best to come up with systems that'll work without the clutter out to remind us. Whenever I notice there's been a buildup of clutter, I will do a quick sort to see what types of things are in that pile. That's gonna tell me a lot. It's gonna tell me, do I have a system in place already and I've been procrastinating, or do I need a system in place? So let me give you an idea of what I'm talking about. This particular pile that I had, which was covering this peninsula and some things on the floor as well, I had a broken pedestal that I need glue to fix. So that's not a delayed decision. I know what needs to happen, but I keep forgetting to buy the glue. And I've had the pedestal out to remind me, but it's been out for almost a week. That has not done the trick in reminding me. So I'd rather come up with something else rather than having the items sitting out. Another one was a gift from a friend that I left out so that I remember to write her a thank you note. There was a wool blanket that needed to go to the dry cleaner, a pile of shopping bags, emergency water, stuff that needs to go in the trunk of my car, a slack line that I ordered for the grandkids that needs to get put up between trees, some items that need to be returned to my parents, and then a whole pile of donations. And so what I did was I jotted these down on this white erase board. You can also put them on a sticky note in a planner. I recommend a sticky note because if you don't get to those things during the week, you just pull it off and move it to the next week. Or in the notes on your phone or some other sort of reminder. You also could just do a simple magnetic list on your fridge. Now the key is to go back and look at these things, but at least you've got it written in one place rather than a whole pile that you have to look at every day. Now I look at my list and I see, do I have any systems in place for these things? For example, I believe I told you guys that I have spots for our neighbors next door when they get mail. For my daughters that are living here, I have places where I can put their mail. I can put something I'm returning to them, something that got left out, I can stick it in their spot. So I have a place for that. It's very common, even with friends and family members, you need to return things and that stuff just ends up in a pile in your kitchen or entryway. So one thing I do is I have a bin for family. These are things that need to be returned. So if I'm ever looking for it, I know where to find it. Now, if you're using your car to return something, I would suggest taking that item directly to your car and leaving it there. But aside from that, having a bin where you know where those items are is really helpful. And then make a note. So for example, I know that I'm going to go visit my parents in 2 weeks and I have something I need to return to them. On my calendar, on the day that we're visiting, I'm going to write, check the basket, because that means I've got something in here and I don't want to forget to pull it out and take it with me. I suggest that everyone have a donate bin. We should constantly be decluttering, going through our things, out with the old, in with the new. So if you have a specific spot in your home and everyone knows where that is, you can quickly put items you want to donate into that basket or bin. I also keep a basket by our front door, and that is things that either need to go out to my car, things that need to go out to our detached garage, and that way I have a quick spot to put them. I will say the best thing always, don't put it down, put it away. When we just put it down somewhere, we create an extra step for ourselves to actually put that item where it belongs. But I also know that that's not feasible. And so that's why I have baskets around where if I need to do just a quick clear off the counters, I have places I can put things. You can have a basket that you use simply to clear off, throw it in the basket and say, I'll get to that later. I'm sure you know the downside of that, and that is that you might not get to it later. Actually, one of the most common things I see with clients is baskets or bags of things in their garage that when I inquire about them, they'll say, that's when I cleaned out my car last month and 5 months ago and last year. So they cleaned out their car, put things in a bag, set it aside, and never went back to it. So first of all, that should show us that we probably can live without most of those things. But it's very hard to motivate yourself to go back and clear out a basket that you've used just to clear. So be careful of that. What you could do is if you clear that, just make a point that that night before bed, you're gonna really quickly go through and do a sort. And maybe that means something goes in the donate bin, something's to be returned to a family member, or something needs to be returned to the store or taken out to the garage. If you do those kinds of sorts, it makes it so much easier when it's time to put things away. As soon as my basket gets full of things to go to the garage, or whenever I have a free moment or nothing in my arms and I'm heading out there, I will just grab the few things and take them out on my way and quickly put them away. If you can get in the habit of putting things where they belong, even if it's a temporary spot, like this needs to go to the car, this needs to go to the garage, you will be so much more ahead of the game, and you will reduce the clutter that is in your working areas, especially the kitchen. Fly Lady calls these hot spots. I call them clutter magnets. That is any horizontal surface that just attracts clutter. You just go to set one thing down, and before you know it, you have a pile. It's just like the kitchen sink. All it takes is one spoon, and all of a sudden everyone is leaving their dishes in until you have a whole pile. One of the best ways to keep on top of clutter in your home is to do a 5-minute tidy every day. This can be done right before bed. This can be done first thing in the morning, depending on your energy levels. I did this with my kids right before my husband came home from work. I would just send the kids out, 5 minutes on the timer, and we're gonna tidy up and put things away. Now, you do have to teach and train your children to actually put things where they belong and not just move them to another location. Another thing that works with younger children is find 5 things to put away or 3 things to put away, depending on their age. And if you start that with them early, they will learn to do a very quick tidy, and it's so helpful just to maintain your home. I think for most people, clutter is just a part of daily life, but it does not have to overwhelm you if you can keep up on it. A phrase in our family is inch by inch, life's a cinch, yard by yard, life is hard. And we use that to motivate ourselves to do a little bit every day, rather than waiting until it's so overwhelming and difficult to get through. I'm getting ready to do a book review of an amazing decluttering book, and that'll be coming soon. And when I do it, I'll link it to this video, but it's going to have some great tips on decluttering. But for now, clear your surfaces, create systems, bins that are labeled where you can put things. Another bin that I have is a to be fixed bin. So that is actually where I ended up putting that pedestal, and I put a note in my planner that I need to get glue and I need to fix that. So it's on my project list, and it's also in my planner as something I plan to do today when I go to the store. I hope you'll give some of these tips a try and give me some feedback. Comment below. I would really love to hear if anything was particularly helpful for you, or if you already have a system in place that helps you keep clutter out of your important working areas. If you haven't already subscribed, I invite you to just hit that button and join the Peaceful Home family. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great day.